Watsco Center as you are watching the ACC on ESPN. And welcome to Miami. More specifically, welcome to Coral Gables, Clemson, and Miami. The Tigers and the Hurricanes into what should be a very entertaining game here tonight. A year ago, 10-2, 1-0 in the league. Clemson is ranked, they're 16th, also 1-0. This is a good early conference season litmus test for both of these programs.
Miami starting out in man-to-man. You've got Omier guarding P.J. Hall. That means Matthew Cleveland is going to have Ian Shefflin, and that's a big task to keep him off the glass. One of the best rebounders in the league.
Chase Hunter can't get a shot off. Shot clock is down to 5. Joseph Girard III, the former Syracuse Orange, playing as a fifth-year senior, transferred.
Black from Arkansas, not quite there yet, but he's got a lot of ability.
Yeah, Jim Larinaga just wants him to be a little bit more assertive because of all that ability. And there's Matthew Cleveland, the floor.
It's paint against Miami. They like to get the ball into the paint and spray it to open shooters.
These are two good offensive teams, each of them averaging in excess of 82 points per game.
And when he puts the ball on the deck, he'll often spin the other way. Dribbles right and spins. Miami can get some steals there if they're alert to it.
George open in the corner, and he'll answer with a 3. Second 3 already for the Canes. George off the screen, leaves it a little short. Hall down with the board. Chase Hunter, senior point guard. His younger brother, Dylan, will back him up. Wow. And there's the deep range, and I do mean deep, for one of the most versatile and talented big men in the country.
Well, you don't often say logo 3 from a big guy who's 6'10". That was a deep 3 by P.J. Hall.
And we'll talk about it more as the game develops, but he's healthy this year, and that has just made a world of difference for Hall and the Tigers. Hunter the pull-up, and Clemson on top.
Boy, what a great steal by Chase Hunter. He was right in the gap where he needed to be. And Clemson does a really good job of gap protection. That's when you're a help defender. You get in that gap off of your man, but where you're guarding the ball.
Norchad Omier will answer with a 3 of his own.
Miami logo. Look, it's a big logo, but still, that's a logo 3 for a big guy. Impressive.
R.J. Godfrey is checked in for Clemson, 6'8" sophomore. And there is Girard doing what Brad Brownell tells us.
Well, he's so good coming off screens because he loads it up quickly. If you're not right on him, he's one of those guys you call a no closeout guy. You should never have to close out to him because you're always on him.
Omier with the rebound and the putback. He is a beast on the glass.
Goes to the glass every time, and he carves out space. Both he and Ian Shefflin are among the better offensive rebounders in the country.
Hall misses this 3. Joseph the rebound. Omier running the court and lays it in. Well, a typical baseball player when he was younger, very good pitcher. But he said he hit so well that the coaches, when he wasn't pitching, put him in the lineup at first base or in center field. Imagine a guy that size patrolling center field. And he had pro aspirations. Felt he could have done something baseball-wise, but it looks like he's chosen well. It was 15-10 Miami. Hunter looking for Hall, well defended by Omier.
Good duck in by P.J. Hall.
And he'll convert his second dunk of the night already. And Hall, who's averaging over 20 points per game of the season, off to a very good start tonight.
And when we say duck in, the ball was on the left side of the court and it was coming back right. He just ducked right into the middle of the lane and moved Omier to the other side of the lane, cleared out all that space. That is hard to deal with.
Omier drives and finishes with the left hand.
Boy, a terrific screen by Norchad Omier.
Dylan Hunter now into the game, taking the places of his big brother Chase. The floater will go for the sophomore to bring the Tigers back within 3. Christian Watson is checked in for Miami, 6'7" sophomore from Lanham, Maryland. Boy, terrific handle and a great feed.
Here, he was trying to drop the hammer here. When he puts it right behind his head, Girard just took it right away. What a big-time play by Joe Girard.
Davidson, Boise State, at Alabama, at Pitt, South Carolina. They've got some good wins this year.
Really good wins. This is a tournament team.
Yep.
It was last year. They got jobbed, in my opinion.
Pack for 3.
Boy, Nigel Pack is playing at both ends of the floor because he has to chase Joe Girard around. That is not an easy task. He's basically not a help defender. He's just staying with Girard.
Yeah, those two guys respect each other's shooting ability, both being great shooters themselves. No call as Godfrey lays it in. Cleveland's okay as he gets helped back up. Miami 4 for 5 from three-point range in the early going here tonight. Pack into the paint this time with a runner.
Well, you talk about a shot-making team. That's Miami. And Nigel Pack is one of those players that can go get his own.
Girard, and there's the deep range. And anybody who watched the Orange play over the last 4 years, very familiar with that.
Nigel Pack in pressure.
And in fact, the two games Miami has lost this year, in both of them, Omier fouled out of the game. They lost to Kentucky by 22, lost to Colorado by 27. They have one. Hall, that's a very physical matchup. Tough turnaround, comes up empty. Hall's got a height advantage on Omier, but Omier, and Hall is strong, but Omier's in a whole other league. It looks like 1.7 per game. Omier is second. Armando Bacot of Carolina is first.
Well, Shefflin had 17 rebounds against Pittsburgh. Another logo 3 for P.J. Hall.
And there's the putback for Shefflin doing what he does best. For 10 so far tonight.
And the big threat is this guy, Joe Girard. But Nigel Pack has done a really good job of staying with him.
Wiggins the handoff to Girard. Now Shefflin will put up a three. He's a guy who his freshman year didn't. Omier misses the three, and Shefflin down with a rebound. And Shefflin's one of these guys, you know, who dove for that loose ball? Who made that good pass? He just makes winning plays. Girard with a great feed to the cutting Chase Hunter for the lay-in and one.
Those cuts from the corner, so down shot. He handles the ball for this team.
In answering that question, you know, how good does it feel to play for a team like this? And, you know, what are the talking points? And he said ACC championship, Final Four. I mean, he blurted it out. George from the wing with his third three of the game already.
You talk about an unselfish team. Nigel Pack could have shot that ball, Bensley Joseph, but they both gave it up to get the better shot to Keyshawn George. When that ball
got a great women's. We've seen it so many times, it's believable by now.
He's taking that up to dunk.
Girard puts it on the deck and gets inside, and a foul call.
Such good help by Bensley Joseph. Reached in.
300 threes. Was asked why. I grew up in the state of New York. I played in the state of New York. Just a little bit too high for Dylan Hunter to put it down. Pack. George is hot tonight. The tip no, but Casey runs it down for the Hurricanes. Cleveland, yes.
When Clemson didn't execute on that last opportunity, gave up the open three and then the offensive rebound. You know, this is an important period in this game if Clemson can get some separation here.
Godfrey with an impressive spin and finish. Terrific player, leading scorer for the Seminoles last year. Hit a buzzer beater to beat Miami. And now he is transferred down here to Coral Gables. Another one of the better transfer stories in the country. Shefflin, baseline, got it.
Well, as soon as Shefflin saw he had Keyshawn George on him, he wanted to take him down in the post.
Back to Pack, still plenty of time.
Good job by Clemson. They put two on Pack and made him give it up.
And he can't get it back. Dylan Hunter won't let him. George hoists it up and hits his fourth three of the game. Incorrectly. Hall looks inside for Godfrey. Nice swing to Wiggins, who hits the three. Great
position for a defender.
George shut off on the baseline by Wiggins. Kind of a scrambly possession right now for the Hurricanes, but they've still got time.
Well, Chase Hunter had the steal, but George just took it away from him.
Pack forced it up, won't go. And now Clemson's got all kinds of time here to try to get one more look. Chase Hunter up and around, but it rolls off the rim. And that's after the horn, after the buzzer. So the first half will come to a close. Hoping he can get as many minutes as possible out of him here in the second half.
He's guarding P.J. Hall. I think Hall's got there he goes down into the low post. I think they're going to try to get the ball inside to him. And There he is on the roll replace action.
The shot fake, the drive, switching hands and drawing the foul. Hall will go to the line. Recovered from that, and then in the summer before his junior season, and he is playing at an all-conference
in the ACC. And he's doing it on both ends. You know, shot blocking is an important factor for this Clemson defense.
He is the only guy in Division I as the three goes down for Matthew Cleveland. P.J. Hall, the only guy in a wide open. Chauncey Wiggins. Hall couldn't corral the rebound. Boy, he had a gimme. And Omier getting down the floor in a hurry and laying it in. That's the second time tonight where Omier has beaten the Clemson defense down to the other end of the court.
Boy, and those big mitts corralling that ball when it was loose and getting it up on the board quickly.
Ooh, gambled there, almost came up with it, and pays the price.
To get dunked on.
Omier for three and leaves it well short, but Cleveland comes up with it.
You don't think that was a lob pass?
Yeah. Now Pack from deep. And Miami starting the second half hot. They've gotten back within two.
And that's what I call getting caught in no man's land. When the ball goes under the basket, Cleveland had it down low. Helping off doesn't do any good. You got to stay with a three-point shooter.
Gerard, not just a three-point shooter. Brad Brownell allows us to hear a lot, if not all, of what he's saying. And he is telling his guys, get going. Get up the court. Let's go.
He's telling them to run.
Yep.
Now, Miami doesn't have a ton of bodies, so the more you can run them, the better it is for you.
Chase Hunter with a strong drive and finish. Tough bounce pass in traffic. Omier saves it and will get an assist as Dylan Hunter lobs it in. Boy, a dangerous pass. It's stolen and Cleveland will flush it.
I think Jim Larinaga likes the call now.
All's well that ends well.
Isn't that a gut punch when you're inbounding under your own basket, you turn it over and give up a layup on the other end?
Gerard over Pack. And laid back up and in by Shefflin.
But Chauncey Wiggins did not have inside position, but knocked it right to Shefflin.
Pack using the screen by Omier and burying the three.
Hail to the Victors is the best fight song in college football.
Little weave up top for Miami, looking to retake the lead here from Clemson. Pack got it to go for the Canes. If you're drafting in a game of horse, I think Nigel Pack is the first pick in this gym tonight.
Gerard's not far behind.
Yeah, that's true. Omier over Hall. Miami by 3. Out of him somewhere playing basketball, but doesn't he look like the kind of guy who NFL scouting directors might say, you know what? I wonder if he could play some football. There have been tight ends, obviously, who were basketball players in college. You know, Jimmy Graham right here. Yeah. First free throw.
Instead of just going up strong, he tried to get rid of it at the end.
In and out and off the rim, and another rebound for Omier. Looks like he took a shot to the side of the head, but he's okay. Turnaround, Matthew Cleveland, and it goes.
He knew he had an advantage when
player in Jordan Miller last year from their Final Four team, and another great one in Isaiah Wong. But specifically in terms of Miller, if you're going out and trying to find a guy who could play that kind of a role, Matthew Cleveland's a pretty good fit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the one. And Matthew Cleveland has terrific.
Hall gets into the paint, and it'll go. It'll jump hook for the answer to the one that he saw from Omier at the other end.
This little dribble handoff action, he kept it and got that one-on-one in the post. And that's where Clemson can be much more difficult to guard if they can let him touch it more in the paint.
Pack, the pull-up. Yes, he's tough. Excuse me, Brad, would you mind? But you really, not that it's any surprise, but you really feel the intensity when you're, 3 feet away from one of the coaches all night long. And again, his first game back after missing, they could win without him, and they gave him some time if it had been players on the floor, but they have been struggling here in the second half. Hunter into traffic, and it is deflected away. No call. Joseph in transition. What a burst of speed.
And what a turnaround Miami takes away what looked like an easy bucket for Chase Hunter and turned it into a layup on the other end. And right now, Clemson really needs to get something positive going.
And a tough one for P.J. Hall to quit the 7-point lead past the midway point of the second half. George off a screen. Joseph, bounce pass to Omier.
Well, he was thinking that all against Pittsburgh, including 7 offensive boards. Boy, good job by Keyshawn George to stop that drive and not leave the floor on that shot fake.
Does a great job covering a smaller guard too. He's really a wing, but he can cover a lot of different spots. And there's a huge and picked up a close win at BC on the weekend. I think the Demon Deacons will make some noise this year.
No, Wake Forest is really good, and you're right. When they get fully healthy, they're going to be even better.
Turnaround by Cleveland will go.
Boy, that's just a great individual.
He's a pretty good candidate.
He's a baller, an elite shooter, and you cannot go under on him. But he can spin, pivot on drives. He's got that deep range, and there he is again.
Right on cue, as they say, knocking down the elbow jumper. He's a career 42% three-point shooter over his 4 years at K-State, and here he's made 263 threes in those 4 years. And guarding a guy who's just as good shooting the three and can also put it. Kicks it back out to George, 7 to shoot. George stripped by Hunter. Chase Hunter trying to go the distance, and he lays it in.
Boy, what a good. Clemson's offensive difficulties in the second half have affected their defense, and this is where they need to go.
P.J. Hall with good deep position to get him back within 4.
He's getting the ball up top to Wiggins. Got a high-low look. He didn't have any pressure on him. And this 2-3 zone is making Miami a little bit more of a stationary offensive team.
Cleveland from 18 knocks it down.
He's dangerous there. That's where he can be a playmaker. He's a good pass.
Talented offensive players on both sides tonight. Hunter couldn't handle the pass. Joseph the steal and the lay-in.
And the foul.
And the foul.
Once he went up.
You know, with guys like, he's got it back to 8. Shefflin, a corner 3. Too strong.
And bodies all over the place underneath with Hall and Omier.
Boy, George can really speed up the court, can he? And he gets the assist on the 3 by Cleveland.
Boy, it used to be you would run in transition for a layup. Now you're running for that 3-point line.
Largest lead of the night for the Hurricanes. Gerard, yes.
Well, you come off him just a. I call him a no closeout guy. You never want to have to close out to him. You got to stay with him all the time.
A touch for Omier. One-on-one with Hall. Hall, the foul, number 4 in the game. As much as Jim Larinaga wants him in there, he had some foul trouble.
% from the line.
And Omier is going to go to work on Shefflin. Got him in the air, switched hands, and laid it in. That was beautiful.
And just yet, but he's going to be a big-time player.
Joseph, no, and off the rim to Godfrey. Clemson needs scores, and they need them quick.
And they need stops.
Wiggins will oblige with a 3 from the wing to get it down to 9.
And Miami doesn't want to take the air out of the ball. They want to remain aggressive, but you don't have to be in a hurry here.
Joseph and Pack, 2 very experienced guards, good ball handlers in the backcourt. Cleveland baseline. And it looks like Godfrey fouled.
And this is why you do.
Point for Omier. Miami has now 21. They've got 3 players with at least 20 points in this game. Pack's got 23. Cleveland and Omier each have 21. Pretty impressive.
So George on Gerard, and he lost him there. They picked up a jump switch.
And Hall's roughed up inside. Tomorrow night and the app. Shefflin makes them both. And here comes the pressure.
1-2-1-1.
Broken nicely A little shoulder bump, but they play on. O'Meara got rid of it, and Cleveland got fouled.
And that's it for P.J. Hall.
Yeah, that'll be the end of the night for Hall.
Job of pressuring the ball, bringing it up.
Now you got to deal with the physical special. Clemson to play it out. Doesn't want to foul on this trip. Under 2 minutes to go. Joseph inside, reverses and lays it in. What a second half he's had.
How do you stay in front of these guys? Yeah, and Bensley Joseph has had a great second half, and he's done it at both ends of the floor, equally as impactful on the defensive end as the offensive end.
Without Wooga Poplar. Pack throws it away to Shefflin. Chase Hunter. 87-79. Timeout Brad Brownell with a minute.
So the first thing is make a catch.
And a foul before they even inbound. Jim Larinaga.
I would imagine that Jim Larinaga would be a fun coach to play. Number one thing on his bucket list.
Hang on. It wasn't finishing on an alley-oop. That's not number one on his bucket list?
No, number one for him is get a tan.
And he just can't?
He doesn't think it'll ever happen. He says he turns red.
Well, he's in the right place to try,
You
that's
would
for
think
sure.
so.
Yep. Gerard open for a three.
Boy, this is a really big win for Miami. Without Wooga Poplar against an excellent Clemson team, when everything seemed against you, one at a time. You better be ready for a track meet there because Kentucky's one of the best transition teams in the country.
Oh, a steal by Joseph, and he slams it home. The exclamation point on a very, very good night for the Hurricanes.
Well, who thought at halftime that Miami'd have 95 by the end of this one?
60 in the second half. The shot clock is turned off. 74% shooting, 60 points in the second half, and a standing ovation from the crowd here in Coral Gables.
And well deserved. What a second half by the Hurricanes.
Big, big win for Coach L, as they call him, in the Hurricanes, beating Clemson 95-82. Both teams now 11-2 in the season, but Miami 2-0 in the league. Clemson drops to 1-2.